In the name of God, source of all being, eternal Word, and Holy Spirit. Amen. The church has done its best to hide the Feast of the Ascension. It doesn't fit into any of the prepackaged, commodified versions of the gospel that one receives as your parting gift from any seminary. It doesn't fit into any of our cultural expectations of the gospel. Progressives, Pentecostals, prosperity gospel, name it and claim it, any of the preachers don't particularly care for the fact that the Ascension comes along and tips whatever paradigm we like. Because, like the Gesimas, the 3 Sundays before Lent, the Ascension has been downshifted and points us into something that always sort of interrupts kind of the flow of our mojo when it comes to preaching. And this is, it tends to be seen as sort of an embarrassing, sort of unfortunate relic of an older church. Before the adoption of the Common Lectionary, of which we now use the Revised Common Lectionary, and its 3-year cycle, Easter ended on Ascension Thursday. The 40 days of Easter were parallel to the 40 days of Lent. And in many places, the Paschal candle would be extinguished during the recitation of the Creed. He ascended into heaven. The Paschal candle was extinguished. And today was called the Sunday of the Ascension, or the Sunday of Ascensiontide, not the 7th Sunday of Easter. And all of that was washed away in the sort of celebratory new version of the liturgy, or renewed version of the liturgy, that goes from Easter to Pentecost. After all, the coming of the Holy Spirit is clearly triumphant and glorious and affirming and great. The Ascension just leaves all sort of uncomfortable imagery in our minds. For example, the Ascension Chapel in the Anglican Shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham, if you look up, there are little statuary plaster of Paris feet sticking out of the ceiling in a circle of plaster of Paris cloth. Yeah, the divine Tootsies hang over your head while you're worshiping. That just doesn't quite vibe well with the 21st century worldview. What does it mean to go up? And that also brings up sort of our fixation on things like, well, what exactly did the feeding of the 5,000 look like? What did it mean that the bread kept up and there was leftovers? And what did it look like? What did it sound like? We want to turn the oral documents of the of the Bible into the visual media that we are so used to today. And the other thing is that all of these questions, however, dodge around the tremendous mystery of Jesus and the Trinity pointed to by the Ascension. A mystery is, as I have said before, not a puzzle or an enigma, something to be figured out, something to be solved, Jacques' miracle in the parlor scene at the end. We don't need a little Belgian or a little English spinster to come along and tell us who did it. Those are detective puzzles, not mysteries. And mystery, when we get into it, gets in the way of our agendas. And by our, I mean preachers' agendas. Be they political or theological or social, a mystery comes along and goes, you are desperately missing a point. Chiefly the mystery of the Ascension is the incorporation of Jesus into the inner life of the Trinity. And when Jesus is incorporated into the life of the Trinity, his humanity and our humanity, the common humanity of all people, is drugged kicking and screaming into the Trinity and is worked into the inner life of God. And by humanity, I mean everything that is us. Bodies, minds, souls, sexualities, our arthritis, pimples, allergies, good and bad. Every part of the human existence is incorporated into God. All of our griefs and pains, all of our joys and dreams, all that it is to be human is grafted into the inner life of God, inexorably merged into the life of God. We are made a part of the mystery that lies at the heart of reality. We are returned to our source as being made in the image and likeness of God. We are then plugged into that existence even more intimately. The ultimate truth of all existence becomes a part of our everyday life, and our everyday life is made part of the ultimate source of all existence. The Eastern Church sees this as a fundamental part of its spirituality. They call it theosis. To quote one of the church fathers, God became human so that humans can become God. The life of prayer, service, and community of the church and the individual Christian are all refounded in the light of union in God. It starts individually in baptism as we are individually incorporated further into the eternal priesthood of Jesus. This may seem contradictory. We've already been made one with the Trinity in the Ascension, but we're made one with Christ in baptism. So which is it? Nearly 2,000 years ago or when we were babies? And the answer to that is yes. The Ascension, Pentecost, all of these things point to the fact that God isn't static, and neither is our relationship. It is a dynamic life and mixture of the mystery of God and the church. It is all a part of a dynamic and eternal flow called perichoresis, if you're into the technical theological jargon, interpenetration. We are made a part of the dance of the Trinity, and that is a dynamic, never-ending thing, and that is what we are called to. Which is enough to make you feel exhausted if you think about it, because now we're part of something eternal, and I can't even get my laundry done on time. And it is this dynamic system of life that empowers us. We are the church. We are, as Paul puts it, given power by our presence. God is with us. The gates of hell will not prevail against us. And we must first embrace our empowerment and embrace our existence as participants in the divine life. We are empowered to further and to be a part of the reconciliation and atonement of all of the created order in God. We are commissioned to do so. And so we are left with the question that these figures, these angels, these men, these figures in white, why are you standing around? What on earth are you waiting for? In the name of God. Amen.